So, would you say that looking at your life now, did it impact that experience negatively in one way or the other? Your marriage, your relationship with men, even your Christian growth?
No, for me, no. I've heard about people who it impacted them negatively, but for me, no. Aside when I was younger, like 8 years old, when it first happened, I was all of the trauma was the only thing I felt. Afterward, as soon as I hit secondary school, I tried to forget about everything that happens at home. I focused on school, my new friends, my new life, everything. So only when I'm going home for holiday, that is when I start to think, oh, I'm going to see these horrible people again. God knows what is going to happen this time. So that's the only time when I get to think about it. And thankfully, when I get home, things just happen that I don't even have to think about them. I don't even have to see them, maybe for any reason. And the holiday just finished, and then I just go back to school. So it didn't really affect me negatively. And well, I hated them for a while. let's let's not forget that I hated them for a while. But after, I think time heals. So after a while, I healed. So it didn't affect my relationship either. Because I wasn't raped. I was molested, yes, but I wasn't raped. So it didn't, you know how girls that are raped will see guys and they will cringe like they want to pass out. I didn't have all of those. I was fine when guys come around, as long as you don't touch me in any sensitive part. Life continues. We are friends. So it didn't affect my relationship even before I became born again. It didn't affect my relationship when I became born again. It didn't affect my relationship with my husband now when we're courting. Like, I didn't, no, it didn't affect me, except that I hated them. Otherwise, everything was fine. And I think I've forgiven them now because when I remember it, I don't even have any hard feelings towards them. So, yeah.
Okay. So, thank you so much for sharing. So, again, you talked about the fact that you never told your parents or your siblings. Why is that?
Because, like I said earlier, we grew up in a society where you don't even know what to tell your parents. You don't know if you tell them this, if they are going to side you or be against you. So and okay, let me also tell you this funny one. Because I'm the first girl, there is this so much expected from me. You have to lay a good example for the other girls, even your older brother. You have to be a mother, like a mommy figure. You have to everything about you must just be perfect. And then they like every not every morning, but once in a while, they just call these cousins who they think are older than us and they can guide us right. And they tell them daddy is going to work and mommy will not be home because she's going to the shop. So you, the real culprit, they don't know. You, they'll call his name. Look after your younger ones, especially this one pointing at me because now I'm growing to, I'm reaching, I was getting close to puberty then. Especially this one, because we know that boys will start chasing her around soon so that she doesn't go and ruin her life. So you must look out. If you see any boy around her, make sure you beat her and beat the boy. Beat the nonsense out of them. In fact, kill both of them before we come. And when we come, if you report her to us, we are going to do times two or times three of that. So it's like they've put my life in the hand of somebody who is already ruining it for them. They don't even know. And I didn't know what to say. Like, I was a very confused child because I'm thinking, okay, So am I supposed to tell them? Should I just open up one day and say, Dad and Mom, I need to talk to you. This has been happening. I didn't know what to do, sincerely. And that's the reason why, up till today, I didn't even say anything. Because even as old as I am now, I don't know. I don't want to give them a heart attack because they are also in their old age now. So I don't know how I'm going to tell them that this happened to me and I didn't say to you, if they are going to cringe and jump out of their flesh like, how stupid could you have been not to have told us? Or how stupid could they have been not to have even noticed it as a parent? Or, I don't even know what to expect now at this age if I tell them. So sometimes I just feel like, okay, let it just go. They don't know, they don't know. Life is going on. We are all fine. Let it just go. Because really, they there was a day, this time I was already in uni. It's either I'm in my first year in the university or I'm in my final class in secondary school. Then there was a guy on our street that was actually asking me out. And my parent felt like she's a teenager, but she's too young to start having a relationship. That's not what we want for our child now. So my mom pulled me with my dress down the street to the guy's house, screaming at the top of her voice, calling me a prostitute because now a boy is running after me and I'm not saying no, like I'm not screaming, I'm not yelling back at him to tell him, don't ask me out, don't come near me. So she screamed at the top of her voice, prostitute, till we got to the guy's house. And when we got to the guy's house, and this, my cousins, it was holiday period, they were with us. So they were also, all of them, my mom made sure that they all followed. All guys, they all followed us. And they all also had cane. Every one of them was given a cane. So they had this cane following us behind. And then when my mom got to the house of the guy, she knocked on the door and called out the mother. And she ranted, she abused the mother, every of the abuses she could think of. After ranting, she told the woman that what I have done to you now will teach you how to teach your son to stop following my daughter. My daughter is not available for any rubbish now, and she doesn't want any boy to come and ruin her life. So after this drama, we went back home. The reason why these guys followed us with a cane is just in case I rebel, so that they can flog me back to where mom is. But as a gentle child as I am, I didn't rebel. I followed her. It was very embarrassing because everybody on the street actually came out to see the drama. I was very embarrassed, but I followed her. So when we go back to the house, she continued talking and talking and talking, and she made me prostrate. And all these guys that followed us down the road with a cane now started beating me. So whichever one of them didn't beat me well, she's going to beat the person. So after this drama scene 2, she now said to me that anytime a guy comes around me and I don't chase the guy away, that is what will be happening to me in the house. And if these guys, which 2 of them had molested me in the past, if these guys sees a man following me around and they don't either beat me up before she comes back from her shop or report me to her, she's going to deal with them. So I was in a confused state because I'm now thinking, okay, so I'm going to report our favorites because at that time I saw those ones as her favorite. I'm going to report our favorites to her and say that this is what this guys, or maybe one of them, because the other one was just once. So this is what this guy has been doing to me. And until age 18, like from the age of 8 till I was 13. And how is she going to take it? She's going to think maybe I cooked up a story or something. So I was imagining for her, I was answering the question she should have answered if I had told her. But I just assumed on her behalf, I assumed that she's not going to swallow it. Like, she's not going to take it. She would think I'm lying. She would think I'm just trying to cook up stories. So it's better to just let it pass. Let me handle it the way I can. And for my siblings, the community we we come from, there are some things I'm even too shy to tell my siblings about it. Like, I couldn't wrap my head round calling my two sisters and telling them I was molested or I've been molested or I've been going through this. I I couldn't just wrap my head around it. So I was just going on with life, and I was praying that what had happened to me would not be happening to them secretly too, because I didn't tell them. Maybe if I had told them, they would be more aware, and then if anything of such is happening, they would scream out or do whatever. I didn't tell them because I was too ashamed to. I didn't know how to present it. So it just, but in my closet, I would always pray that I pray that these two girls would not go through, or they are not actually going through what I have been through. And we all just went through life like that, and till we got to our adulthood, and here we are.
Wow. Did you ever get to know whether it happened to anybody in your family, any of your siblings apart from you?
Well, I it must have happened to one or both of my sisters, but I didn't ask them a direct question because I don't know how to present the case. But there was a time my younger sister said something similar to that. So I suspect that she went through it too. But even at that, I haven't found the time to sit down with her and talk to her and know. But of a fact, it happened to my brother. And it's funny that the same cousin that molested me, his younger sister was the one that molested my older brother, and it went on for a very long time, and it affected my brother so much. It was just God that helped him to get out of the depression.
What is your advice to parents knowing what you have gone through, to parents how to deal with situation, how to relate with their children so that this would not happen again? What would you advise parents?
I think parents should, well, thank God for the parents we have in this century now. I think parents should do more talking to their children. Be your children's friend. Yes, we always say our parents are our role model. Don't be that kind of role model that you are like a god, like an untouchable god, a god your children cannot come close to and speak to. Have a relationship with them. Like, sit down, talk to them. The things that they are expected to tell their friends outside, let it be you. Like, carve a kind of niche whereby they are even free, even if they are just going to have sex with their boyfriend, they can come back home and tell you, Mom, I just had sex and it was a mistake. Like, I wasn't thinking straight or whatever. Just have that kind of relationship with them. I know it's not easy for a girl child to just come and tell our mom, especially Christians, that mom, I've just had sex. Only in the world will that kind of thing happen. But I think parents should just have that kind of relationship that even if your children will not be able to tell you everything that happened, they should be able to tell you 70% of it. Then our parents should not bring people from the village or from anywhere, God knows, and put them over us. Because this is the problem. they would come from the village. We would have that notion, because this is what the picture our parents paint. When we are away, they are in charge. When we are away, they are the gods you worship. When we are away, obey them or report to them, or you are subjected to them, or what have you. So it makes us feel like, okay, if these people hold this kind of delicate or serious positions, so to say, then who am I? I'm just a tiny rat somewhere. Who am I to go and tell dad or mom that this person who is a semi-god, when you are away, is doing this? That's the kind of upbringing we had. We had this hierarchy kind of thing that, okay, after our parents, it's these older cousins from the village, and then it's you. Even if what you're saying is 100% truth, it won't sell, because they believe that children lie. Children can be funny just to get their way. So it is these teenagers who they didn't train, who don't live with them all the time, only during the holidays. They believe that the teenagers would give them the correct information, would make the right judgments, would. So that's the kind of environment we grew up in. So I thank God for the husband I married. We don't want that kind of environment. We don't want to bring anybody from the village to come and stay with us, or even from the city, wherever you're coming from, to come and stay with us during the holiday. For what? If we need somebody to do things for us, like look after our children, clean the house, whatever, would bring in a maid, we'll pay the maid, you do your work, and then you leave. Because even maids molest children. So we don't, it's whatever we, myself, him, and the children, whatever we cannot do, the cleaning we cannot do, the house chores we cannot do, whatever, would wait till the next morning and would wait till whenever. So we are planning a kind of life whereby it's going to be us, wake up in the morning, take care of the children, take them to school. After, yes, teachers too can molest children. So when they are in school, we commit them to the hands of God. When they come back, we want to know every details of what happened in school. We want to look into their eyes. We want to read body language. We want to be able to discern that this child doesn't behave this way. So for him or her to be doing this, the teacher must have done something in school. Because that's the only time we think that they won't be with us. So when we come back, as tired as we may be, we want to still sit down with them 1 hour, 2 hours, and have that interaction. Be sure that what we are preventing happening from at home should not be happening in school. So yeah, I think Christian parents should build that kind of atmosphere in their homes. Like I said earlier, thank God for the Christian parents we have now. I think things are changing, but in the past, things were not like that. People from the village, especially when they are older than us, they have more right than the children. That was what I felt. That was how I grew up. That was what I grew up to see. So I just believe that, okay, these people had more rights than me. And because they had more rights than me, there is nothing I can say to my parents that would sell. They would think I'm lying. They would believe this ones than what I'm going to tell them.
Thank you so much. I'm sure the parents are hearing, and I'm sure that there will be a change. Now, is there anything else you'd like to share with us before we close this? And again, I want to say thank you for sharing the experience. It has been like I've learned, and I believe that other people that are watching have also learned, and they will know how better to relate with people, how to be conscious of how they have a relationship with their children, and how to deal with people that they might want to invite inside their household.
Okay, the other advice is just that I think we need to speak out, because it's not everybody that will be able to handle it the way I handled it. I didn't speak out, but I didn't die in the event. Like, I didn't kill myself at some point. But some people would keep it, like they wouldn't speak out. it will be killing them, and one day they would commit suicide. So I think speaking out would help girls to be able to lift the burden, and speaking out will also help other girls, because like I said, I don't know if this happened to my younger ones, and as old as we all are now, I've never asked them. I'm the first girl. It's just something, I don't know how to present it. It's just something I how am I going to start? I'll call my younger sister and ask her, were you ever molested? And then we'll start the discussion. Like it's something I just shy away from. I don't know if I should work on that and just call them up someday and ask them the question. So I think girls should speak out, like so that other girls too would not fall victim of this. Because if you don't speak out, then how would other girls know how to also speak out? How would they know how to manage it? How would they know what to do or who to go to or what have you? So yeah, the girl child should speak out whenever things like this is happening, for two reasons: so that they don't end up killing themselves. That it didn't kill does not mean it cannot kill somebody else, and so that other girls can learn what to do when they find themselves in such situation. Thank you.
Thank you once again. We have learned so much, and I pray that God will help. God will help us to have this encounter, also change people's life. And at the end of the day, people can say that it's because I had this that my life has changed, that I had this, that I'm able to have a better relationship with my child. So you were talking about the fact that you were afraid, you didn't think they would believe you. You are not the only one. There is a study that was conducted in Nigeria that shows that less than half of people, I think even a third of children that were molested actually told anybody about it. And out of this one third, less than half, when they told their parents, they actually believed them and they actually took them to the hospital. About a third, they did not even believe them. The rest of the proportion, nothing was even done. So it is something that is prevalent. It's something that is really a challenge. So I would pray that parents would learn to talk with their children, communicate with them, find out what they're doing, respond, be sensitive to their body language, and I wouldn't know how to even relate with this. Maybe it's a question, how do you deal with the situation when you have relatives that want to live with you? You're a Christian, you want to show love. At the same time, you have to protect your own family. That is a question for everybody. How do you deal with that situation? Learn to believe and train up your child in the way that they should go. And I pray that our children will not be a victim of this. And even if we have been, learn to forgive and let go. And if you are a molester, the story has shown that you can change. There's still hope for you. It is never too late. Or if you continue, there is always a day when you will be judged. But why wait for that? Why don't you say, I am tired of this, and let go? And I pray that God will help us, even the molesters and those that have been molested, to also seek Christ. Thank you once again for watching this channel. God bless you.